Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. The Premier's done nothing to douse early election speculation, saying he's still actively considering the move. Jeremy Rockcliffe delivering his strongest indication yet as he announced a global leader in marine robotics will establish a new base here in the state.
The future of the seas is headed for our shores. Maritime firm Ocean Infinity to build its robotic shipping control centre in Tasmania.
It's the breadth and calibre of the people of Tasmania which has brought us here.
We need these new industries, we need these smart industries, particularly ones that deal in this sort of IP that we can export.
From celebrating jobs to putting those of Tasmanian MPs on the line. After a crisis meeting with his friends turned foes, the Premier's not satisfied.
It didn't result in what I required and what stability is needed, and that is for the two independents to not support Labor and Green motions in the Parliament.
Citing a lack of trust in John Tucker and Lara Alexander and actively considering calling an early poll.
Every week we have a cabinet meeting, we have a Parliamentary Liberal Party meeting. That'll be on Tuesday, as it normally is. I'll be consulting my colleagues, as I always do, moving forward.
I don't know why he needs to consult. It's very similar to threatening a consequence with your kids, them misbehaving, and then you not carrying out. Your kids stop listening to you.
Whether the Premier was revealing his plans or throwing out red herrings, time will tell. But it's feeling a lot like the campaign's already started, with signs going up and pollies door knocking. Former leader Cassie O'Connor's knocking on wood that she can win an upper house seat.
They want this lovely island, this beautiful city looked after, a health system that meets their needs and homes for Tasmanians.
Bringing friends as well, just in case of a lower house spill.
You'd be a little bit deluded to think that there wasn't a likelihood of an election really soon.
After today's comments, it's feeling more likely than ever. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Kingra residents have had an afternoon fire scare with a prepare to leave warning being issued before it was later rescinded. We cross live to our reporter Josh Duggan, who's on the scene. And Josh, when were residents asked to leave?
Michael, residents in Gordon were asked to leave about 4 o'clock this afternoon, with authorities concerned the blaze could endanger the township. However, they soon got it under control with that warning rolled back around 4:30. No homes were under serious threat and nobody was injured. The road's just reopened now, but people are still being asked to avoid the area, with ground crews working in the patch of bushland where the fire was, just between the water and road. They did also have support from the air earlier in the day, but those firebombers have left now. A cause for the fire? Well, that's still being determined, and it's still rather smoky here, but thankfully the fireys have it under control. Michael?
Thanks for that, Josh. Josh Duggan reporting there. Animal activists have gathered near Elwick Racecourse in Glenorchy protesting the Hobart Cup. Animals Tasmania says its mission is to remind racegoers that horse racing equals horse suffering.
To raise awareness of what goes on the field and how the horses are being exploited, and that's what we're primarily concerned about.
From our perspective, animal welfare is front and centre of all that we do. We look after our thoroughbreds.
Today's group vowing similar action will happen in the future race meets across Tasmania. A suspected arson attack has completely destroyed a Launceston family home overnight. Witnesses describing the scene as confronting and devastating.
A quiet riverside street woken to a raging late-night inferno. Flames tearing through the Pomona Road home, destroying everything in its path.
It's so sad for the homeowners because this is so devastating. I mean, this is something that you wouldn't wish on anyone.
Shocked neighbours immediately on site as the blaze quickly took hold.
I saw a fire just gushed out. It was just flames all over the place.
Emergency services were called to the property shortly after 11 p.m, shutting down the street and checking on nearby residents. Crews finding the blaze had also severely damaged 2 cars parked in the driveway. The damage bill expected to top $500,000.
The flame was so high up that we immediately said that no, this house can't be salvaged.
Fire investigators were back on the scene this morning, combing through the charcoal mess, collecting crucial evidence.
You would never sit to think that such a thing would happen here.
A 21-year-old Riverside woman has since been charged with arson. She's expected to front the Launceston Magistrates Court in April. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian women suffering from uncomplicated urinary tract infections will no longer need to see a GP to receive a script. The state government unveiling a fully subsidised initiative allowing eligible local pharmacists to prescribe antibiotics.
So we know that this will increase the access for women to this pilot. And also now we know that it's funded, so that means that the barrier of finance will be removed.
This is going to make a huge difference for them. We don't want to, and nor should we as women, have to live with infections that cause us pain and discomfort when there can be a really simple solution.
Women aged between 18 and 65 will be eligible for the 12-month pilot program, which begins from March 1. Labor's displeased with delays to beefed up consumer protection for home builders. The laws were passed by Parliament 6 months ago, but are yet to become law. Home builders Kevin and Sonia say their only choice is to demolish their half-built home, having received little help.
I've got to get a 20-tonne excavator here and push it over, basically.
And again, that costs money that we don't have as well.
Yeah.
So.
We know that in Tasmania, home builders have more protection when they buy a toaster than what they do when they build their own home.
Spokesperson for the government's building watchdog CBOS said it was working with stakeholders to build the capacity to enforce the reforms. Thousands have packed Elwick Park celebrating the 150th Hobart Cup. Everything from the horses to glorious fashions on the field on show. Aurora's Symphony taking out this year's big one.
Dubbed one of the most popular days on Tasmania's summer racing calendar. The Hobart Cup today underway in full swing, worth $300,000.
From the TRC's perspective, this is the best race day in all of Tasmania. So some close competition from the Launceston Cup, obviously, and the Devonport Cup, but Hobart Cup is the place to be.
And it certainly was. 5,000 racegoers securing their spot on the lawns, under marquees and up in the stands.
Just mingling with everyone.
Yeah, every year, I've been for the last 5 years, yep.
You get to walk around and look how they run.
Fashions on the field stealing the show. Ladies and gents dressed in their best frocks with shades of pink, bows and floral designs, a popular theme. Many getting creative.
Well, I was kind of proud of myself because I didn't actually buy anything this year. So I made my own millinery and my suit is from Country Road, and I actually made my own shoes as well.
Number 26.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
The men taking their fashion almost as seriously. Others had their eyes glued to the track. Tsunami Sam taking out the first win of the day, with the Launceston Cup next up, taking off from Mowbray on February 28. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
Public consultation is now open for proposed penalties to protect Tasmania's frontline workers. The state government is seeking to impose a minimum 6-month prison term for anyone causing serious bodily harm to an identified worker, which includes emergency services, health and retail staff.
We're very strong on that, and we have been for over 10 years, and we're not going to give up on supporting our frontline workers.
Submissions close at the end of next month. Tasmanians have celebrated the Year of the Dragon in style as revellers filled Parliament House lawns to welcome in the Lunar New Year. The festival, now in its 10th year, featured a range of performers and some of the best bites from across Asia.
We're very pleased with how it's turned out. We aim to be the largest outdoor festival celebrating Asia in Tasmania, and it's turned out that way.
Her Excellency the Honourable Barbara Baker was also on site for the celebrations. The Tasmania Jack Jumpers have clinched a berth in this year's NBL Final Series, their third straight appearance. Beating the Phoenix by 27 points on the road, the Jack Jumpers are a step closer in the quest to win it all.
The task was simple for the Jack Jumpers: win tonight and secure a place in the finals against the last place Southeast Melbourne Phoenix at John Cain Arena.
We practice quite hard during the week. We don't take days off. I push these guys to the limit during the week.
The game started off close, both sides missing opportunities to get some early points. But the Jack Jumpers started to warm up by the second quarter.
Nice pass for Lee, rolling to the hoop. Pretty to watch.
We walk into this building knowing that any player can get off at any moment, and we go into it like it's going to be a war.
Thanks to that team effort and mindset, the Jack Jumpers built a solid 19-point lead by halftime and carried that momentum into the second half. 4 players leading the team in scoring with 11 points each, 3 players with 10 points each. Sean McDonald scoring this 3-point shot in the third on what looked like to be an alley-oop pass.
Alley-oop play. McDonald's taking the 3. He can't miss at the moment.
While the Phoenix outscored their opposition in the fourth quarter alone, the valiant effort wasn't enough to overcome the strength of the Jack Jumpers.
The Tassie Jack Jumpers have got the job done again in emphatic fashion.
I'm super proud of this particular group. This is our 3rd year in a row of posting a winning season. I don't think it's ever been done in franchise expansion history with teams.
They'll next face the Perth Wildcats at MyState Bank Arena to cap off another successful season. Mark Zita, 7 Tasmanian News.
An opening lap crash has caused chaos in the third race of the Trans Am Series at Victoria's Sandown Raceway. 9 cars were involved in a pile-up at turn 4, more than half the field, after Jordan Boys spun out while exiting the corner. Tasmanian Josh Webster in the number 200 car narrowly avoiding the chaos. He finished the race in 9th place. Lauren Jackson has retired again from international basketball after helping the Opals secure a ticket to Paris with an 85-52 win in their Olympic qualifier against Germany.
Lauren Jackson will take the 3 and knock it down.
If she's open, she's going to take her shot. She can do it all.
Tasmanian Alana Smith contributed 8 points in the win. Hobart runner Jacob Despard has won gold at the Adelaide Invitational, clocking a time of 10.28 seconds in the men's 100-metre race. He admits, though, he could have clocked a quicker run.
Not over the moon with 10.28, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, moving into Melbourne next week and then onward to the rest of the season.
Despard later came 3rd in the men's 200-metre, with Queenslander Caleb Law taking out first place with a time of 28.4 seconds.
Good evening. A pleasant 24 today trackside for the Hobart Cup. 25 in Launceston, Devonport and Burnie both 22. Further abroad, the state's top was recorded at Flinders Island and Ouse with 26, King Island and Grove 25, Smithton, Friendly Beaches and Strawn all 24, Maria Island 23, St Helens 22, Lowhead 21, Laiwini 18 after an overnight low of just 4 degrees. The satellite today shows low cloud across the northern region of the state, with patches of cloud in other parts. An onshore flow was driving low cloud about northern Tasmania and the central New South Wales coast. Tomorrow, a trough is lingering to the east of Tasmania. A high is centred across the Tasman Sea, which ridges across eastern states. West to northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, although southwesterly through Bass Strait in the morning and becoming southeasterly about the east coast in the afternoon. Mild southwesterly swells in the west and south. Fine but partly cloudy in the south for the Regatta Day public holiday tomorrow. Hobart 27, Dover 25, a summery 31 for Ouse. Also warm in the north, cloud clearing in Launceston 30 degrees, fine and sunny in Devonport 25, mostly sunny in Scottsdale, 28's the maximum. Burnie sunny 24, partly cloudy in Strawn 21 and much the same for Stanley 24 degrees. A lovely 31 degrees forecast for St Helens, sunny in Swansea 28, cloud clearing in Ross 31's the top. Looking now to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday, showers and isolated thunderstorms are likely about the northeast. Fine elsewhere with hot inland conditions until showers develop in the west during the afternoon and they'll extend statewide later in the day. If you're planning something romantic for Valentine's Day, unfortunately we can expect showers in the west, although easing in the far south. Thursday, fine apart from light showers in the west. Further north now, the mercury climbing in Adelaide 38 degrees expected. Sunny also in Melbourne 35, fine in Sydney 29. Cloud clearing in Canberra 30. Storms and showers are on the way for Darwin. And right now in Hobart, it's mostly cloudy with 21 degrees, partly cloudy also in Launceston, although it's sunny in Devonport with 21. That's all from me, Michael, and for those celebrating an extra long weekend, enjoy it. Peter Murphy will return tomorrow evening.
Thanks for that, Kai. Yes, enjoy that extra long weekend. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening on Channel 7. Good night.